And you know what? If it doesn't happen, and for some reason the charts change, and tomorrow I'm the biggest bear out there, so be it.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some. Is it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy out everything. Not gonna get upset. Just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future up early, just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Don't be scared, G. Like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah. Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress. We're loaded in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes. People hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious. Shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age. Life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared. What an imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all. Hell no, not the unthinkable. Grow some balls if you got a pair. Man, I double dare you to put it all in the market. No sir, I'm not trying to scare you. Seeking and searching, I need some more money. AI is scary, make us look like dummies. Serious about profit, I need it, I'm hungry. My music all over, but I'm from the country. Bank account thicker than Manuka honey. Got multiple wallets, don't go in my pocket. Either's a favorite, but I don't discriminate. Scared to get money, get the hell up out my face. Win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to...
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. So I am so sorry, but for some reason my camera just like stopped working. So you might get the ghost Dano. You might get the ghost Dano today. So I do apologize, but welcome everyone. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for Alex O Crypto for sending the stream over to this one today. I really do appreciate it. I don't know why. It's like, man, I think, you know, the gremlins in the computer are trying to play tricks on me today. So, but it's even funny, you know, he said I was handsome, but you're not gonna see me today, possibly. But we might try and get this camera to work. But either way, we are still going to bring you the stream. We do not care. We are gonna try our best to keep the stream going, even though we don't have a camera. So you're probably just gonna get me. You're just going to get Ghost Dano today, but welcome. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, and if you want to interact in the chat, make sure you are subscribing. like it triple, quadruple, 50 times, unlike it, and then like it. I don't know what you have to do, but if we get 64 likes right now on this live stream, we'll get this thing pumping. And I do apologize for not having my camera. This is just ridiculous. I don't know, the iPhone sometimes will play tricks on me, but we have some things to talk about. If you guys at all were tuning into my live stream yesterday or last night, we were talking about the historic peace deal with the Middle East that Trump issued and has been facilitating. You know, honestly, like one of the first presidents to really bring home the peace deal. And so we're hoping that that will actually last. We did a poll and a lot of people are actually thinking that, you know, this peace deal actually will hold up a lot better than what we've had before in terms of any ceasefires. So that's good news. So it's, you know, that's good news. We're bullish on that. We also have pre-market moves with Tesla falling a little bit because we had some safety regulations kind of come in. Saying that Teslas were running red lights and violating other traffic laws when people are, you know, basically texting and, you know, curling their hair while their Tesla's driving them to work. Pretty crazy. So NVIDIA also rises 1.7%. We actually showed, you know, this graph of NVIDIA yesterday about how NVIDIA basically powers most of all of the AI, quote, bubble that we're in currently. And this is showing us that even though there are worries that this bubble can pop, I think it can continue to grow in NVIDIA and all of the different investments in AI and these, you know, AI farms, these data centers, all of the money that is going into basically propping up all of the just basically the AI market powered by OpenAI, XAI, Microsoft, Google, then you have Oracle. Everything is pretty much interconnected more than we might realize, but also driving competition. And this, I think, a lot of people are speculating that this AI bubble can continue for the next 5 to 10 years. So it's like, if we're getting in now, we're still massively early. And I'm liking how things are looking. And why is this important? You know, why is it important? We're going to go to Dano. So this is so stupid. I can't believe my camera's not working. This is ridiculous, but whatever. It's all good. We're still bringing the energy. See, we don't quit. This is the thing with this channel is that no matter what happens, I don't care if there's 100 people watching, 17,000 people watching, 2 people, camera not working. It's kind of working. You know, just if it, you know, whatever we have and what we're brought with, we are going to do the best that we can. We don't quit. We persist. See, you know, before, like maybe old, you know, Dano or Daniel my camera would have not been working and I would have been like, oh my gosh, I'm going to quit the live stream. This is BS. But you know what? I can't do that. I've learned too much. I've learned way too much. I don't quit. I never quit. I freaking persist, my friends. And you should have that same feeling too. Oh, I'm not on the screen? Who gives a freaking rip? That's not what you're here for. You're not here to look at my pretty face or my dumb, stupid head with my receding hairline from being in crypto too long and not making enough money. That's not what you're here for. That's not what you're here for, my friends. All right? So this is what we're here for. So check it out. NVIDIA is basically powering a lot of the growth in AI. So check it out. NVIDIA rises 1.7% after US approved several $1 billion worth of NVIDIA chip exports to the UAE. And then we think about all the different connections. That the US has made with UAE, also with Qatar. Remember, Trump went on this massive tour of the Middle East. He went to Qatar, he went to the UAE. He met with all of these leaders. And you just imagine, you know, the things like, imagine being a fly on the wall with these conversations. And so this is why I'm so bullish on the macro long term when it comes to AI, tech, crypto. The reason why this is so important to follow the AI narrative is because what is actually going to power crypto? Or what's going to power AI? What's the settlement layer for AI and all of these AI agents, all of this stuff? Well, it's crypto. That's actually going to be the settlement layer. That's where everything is going to be running through, is through these crypto rails. And then not to mention all of the liquidity that's coming in represented by central bank printing. We have the debasement trade happening right now where silver and gold is breaking out. Silver has broken all-time highs. We're going to get into that. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Let's see. Any of this news, we don't have to go through any of this news. This was just kind of just pre-market moves, pre-market moves and pre-market news. And so right now we'll just go right to the Bitcoin and altcoin analysis. So if you were watching Alex O Crypto's stream, you saw that we were pushing liquidity hard right here, and we were seeing a bounce continuation on 122.3. We saw this line as a potential bounce line, but we hit that and we weren't able to sustain. It was very quick. You can see we wicked right on that line, and then that doji wick right here had a pretty low body, and you can see the top wick was an indication that we could get a sweep to the downside. And so when you see this happen, what you want to do is kind of look for previous levels in here where we had support. And you can see this on the 3-minute, where you see that nice support. You see that support on the 3-minute, but it got pretty close to it. It wasn't dead on, but enough to give us an indication if you wanted to go long. And also, this probably correlated too with how the stock market is opening right now, and how it did open pretty bullish, and then it got people excited up to the top. And then you can see where it had that push to the downside to grab liquidity. And you can actually see right where the S&P, the SPY right here, just did a nice bounce, nice little build up, fake out to the downside, and then continuation trade to go up to that order block. And let's see if it'll continue. But if not, then we see another order block here. That would be some obvious levels of a consolidation to the downside. But seeing as we are in a tech growth AI forward continuation trade, along with gold and silver signaling this, S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, everything's just breaking all-time highs right now. And you'd think, all right, it's probably going to, see some cool off, see a pullback. And we just need to be patient and kind of, if we're wanting to trade this, we want to see where the levels are going, then we just need to see how the big movers right now, which is gold and silver, the NASDAQ, the S&P, all of the tech AI driven stocks, see how much more strength they can push. And we were explaining this the other day, how gold and silver are a really good indication, if you're looking on the monthly, how RSI can continue to stay strong and look like it's going to be overbought, but then it just continues to be crushing into these areas. So I think that soon we'll see Bitcoin kind of following that same relative strength index, where it looks like it's overbought, people get scared, and then they get wrecked because it just could start to continue. So I'm looking at gold and silver as how crypto is going to react in the next couple months, going into the actual real debasement trade, which is going to be everything going on chain. And I think gold will still continue to rise because it's still considered the world debasement trade. And then this is why also silver looks so strong. Look at this. It's freaking crazy. Silver looks so good right now. And it's funny that we've actually talked about silver a lot on this channel as something to follow. It's really crazy how silver has been following exactly the TA that we gave for silver, which was silver was also in a cup and handle pattern. We thought that because gold was performing so well, that silver would eventually catch up. And then you could also, because we're correlating Bitcoin with gold, Bitcoin's always been called the digital gold, and then Litecoin has been called the silver to Bitcoin's gold as a comparison. And people always laugh at that, and they think you're crazy or think, oh my gosh, you boomer analysis. But this is, I think, really telling when you look at Litecoin on the monthly chart and you look and see how every time in our altcoin seasons, because we've only had basically 2.5 altcoin seasons. We had one in 2016, 17. We had one in 2021, 2020, 2021. And now we haven't even seen even close to what I think has been an altcoin season, true blow off for 2025 and 2026. So I'm just thinking that Litecoin will be a very good oscillating indicator for when we would want to start to think about taking profits. And so since we're still around in this purple range, I think being in this purple range is great accumulation. And when you're in bull runs, it doesn't matter if you get here. It doesn't matter if you get here. It doesn't matter if you get here. Look at even just getting in the top middle range and going up to these levels, you're up 300% just on Litecoin. So this is why it's very important to not lose focus and lock in for the next run to the upside. And I think it's going to happen. I want to know if you guys kind of have that same feeling. And if you're having the same feelings in your jellies, put a 1 in the chat or put a W in the chat, and also hit that like button. I feel like I probably would have had more people stay if you would have seen my face, but it's all good. We're just like, we're still trucking along. We're still trucking along. We're going crypto face style. We're doing a crypto face stream. You don't have to see my face. You just need to hear my beautiful voice, my beautiful voice. Sometimes I feel like I sound like a combination of Duncan Trussell and I don't know. But yeah, so I think it's really interesting to see how silver's going, and then I would love to see how Litecoin is going to be performing, but we have to also know that Bitcoin loves to steal the show, especially when we are going up in dominance in Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is really important. And also welcome anyone who came from the Otter stream, the Otter gang. Really, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. We were hoping that every single person would have came over to the live stream. That would have been super cool. It would have been a couple hundred people. And we can get close to our goal, which is getting 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's been a bit of a grind, but we are going to continue to come here every single day. But check this out. When you look at the BTC ratios with some of the main altcoins, this is how you're going to see, like, if, you know, it's good to be either be buying some Litecoin or still acquiring AVAX. Like I have a pair with Litecoin, AVAX, Link, Cardano, XRP, and I like to look at these things because then it can just, you know, help me figure out if we're actually in altcoin season yet, or if it's still, you know, good times to accumulate. Because I would imagine if we were up here in the BTC ratio for ETH, anywhere in this level, in this range, anywhere here going across, I think you would be close to buying tops of altcoins. That would just be my best guess, is that you would be pretty much like buying around the tops of where we could be peaking out in the market in terms of altcoins. Now the fact that we're still down here, we're like halfway there. We've had this V-shaped recovery. We saw it bottom out. That really gave us a good bullish indicator that we were risk on, that people are going to start to accumulate these things for the next leg up, then it just shows me that we still have time. Like we can still be patient, you know, we can still be excited. We can still know that we're not too late. I think that's very important right now, and especially right now, to be macro forward thinking, because if you're going to try and time the markets right now or rotate too much, that can be a disaster. The whole rotation, the chasing green candles, and we're going to get into this on how people right now are chasing BNB candles right now on this, on this run up on BNB chain, on Binance Smart Chain, all the, the trench, basically the trench warriors all bridging over to BNB because they're chasing the Aster, the Aster hype, Aster, stuff. And then also people are basically trying to freaking learn Chinese to try and catch the Chinese Binance meta. And it's It's a slippery slope. So I was talking about how I think that if you can just focus over here, maybe like say Polygon, Pulse Chain, Base Chain, Tron, Ton, all the usual suspects that were just where everyone was talking about them just before, but now it's all the attention's trying to catch your attention over to Binance. Look, Avalanche, Sui, look, Say. There's a lot of cool stuff out here and early stuff on Kronos. Sonic, look, Sonic is, I think I was really bullish on Phantom, and look, the volume on here, I'm just looking at stuff that just has, it's like an obvious next rotation play, because we see how no one, it's all what people are always like, oh, I'm going to bridge to BNB and then I'm going to be a BNB, cheerleader forever. It's like, no, you're just going to bridge right the hell out once it gets scary and it doesn't look good anymore. And you're just going to go to the next thing, because that's how goldfish brain crypto people are. They're just rotating and going to the next best thing, blah, 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 blah. And so I guess what we can do is say, okay, I'm not going to try and FOMO position myself. I'm just going to calculate, be very calculated and say, all right, most likely when we're in alt season, AVAX is going to be pushing $100 AVAX. Then you're going to look at what liquidity and memes and different projects, or even things like, for instance, like Pangolin on AVAX. That's one of the trading protocols on AVAX. You could say, all right, let me check that out along with one of the high traded memes. Then you do the same thing on Arbitrum. All right, what's on Arbitrum, and see what is, Loaded Lions. That's a NFT collection that's connected with Kronos. Oh, I forgot about Kronos. Then let me go look at Kronos. And this is how you are 10 freaking steps ahead of everyone who's trying to get their freaking head bonked on Binance right now. Now this is the best alpha I can give you, because while everyone is you're gonna have all the influencers doing the thing where they're like, I'm forever, let me just say, kiss the ring of CZ. We're gonna be over here. We're gonna be over here looking at stuff on Polygon. We're going to be looking at stuff on Sui, on Arbitrum, Avalanche, Ton, especially Ton. If you guys remember, we had a very small Ton season that got chopped at the knees because Durov, the CEO, got ambushed in France. So you don't think that there's a massive underground underbelly of manipulation that's happening? Head bonk. Let's go, headband. Yeah, we should launch that. Me and you, we should launch head bonk. That's funny. But for real though, that's what I feel. It's like I just smell it. I sniff it. I'm just sniffing it right now. I'm like, wow, all these people that are bridging over to BNB right now are exit liquidity for everyone else to try and get out, and then they're just gonna go right to the next thing. And so this is why I think things like Pulse Chain are such unicorns in the space, because there's no reason why there shouldn't be the same type of attention and action on Pulse Chain that there is on BNB, only for the fact that BNB has 60% control of market volume and share, and they manipulate and smoke screen the ecosystem. And they literally, just last night, people were saying oh, it's not bad what they're doing. I'm like, yeah, right. I have freaking proof on chain right now. I'll show you. I have freaking proof on chain that as the dump was happening last night, when the price was looking bad, guess what Bybit and Binance were doing? They were sending coins. Look, this is inflows. This isn't outflows from Wintermute. They were Binance hot wallet as it was dumping. They were sending massive clips of Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum to Wintermute to wash trade and dump the market. Now you tell me if that's ethical or not. No, it's not. Look, Gate did it, Bybit did it, Binance did it, Coinbase probably did it. Here's the next screenshot. That's the first one. That's just for Bitcoin. But then you go and look at Solana, and I said, how are they doing it with Solana? Oh, this is how. They they flood the blockchain with small transactions for $4, $13, $11, and then they sneak in hot wallets like this that have massive clips in it. This one's a little lower, but you can see that what they do is they'll flood the blockchain, like spam the blockchain with small transactions, and then in the skew of it, you can see that there's these clips, and Bybit and Binance were doing it at the same time. Binance and Bybit were sending clips of Sol to dump the price. Now you tell me that that's, quote, ethical. This is why we have the price action we do. I'm dead ass. You guys got to realize this, and we have to figure this out so then we can know when to strike, because they can't do it for very long. But once they bring it down to those levels, which is basically liquidation levels to wash trade, and they get to buy back at those levels where people get, where they're getting liquidated. And then usually those are the bounce point where they end up buying right back. So there's the evidence right there. I thought about it. I was like, wait, the market's dumping? Let me literally go on Arkham Intelligence right now, go to Wintermute, and see what's inflowing into Wintermute. And sure enough, the damn culprits were right there. It's like, wow. I wonder, have you guys done this yet? Have you tested this out? I know, it's funny. I feel like a lot of the people that do watch Alex O Crypto's channel, they're not for the news. They don't like the news. They don't like connecting any of this stuff, or they're just like, show me the damn trades. I want the trades. I want the levels. I want the alpha. I want the next 100x. But what you got is an ADD, ADHD spread of amalgamation knowledge of crypto, and this is what you're getting today, my friends. But yeah, let's show you some fun stuff. I want you guys to go to danocrypto.com, and this is a great website to remind you that you can just do things. You can just do stuff with code. You can do stuff with AI and ChatGPT and Grok and all these different things, and just like put stuff online on your own website. And people forget that you can actually do this because they're so used to just like having a social media like page and just using that as a way to communicate. But you know, you can actually like have your own like basically your own decentralized way that you could communicate with people through a website. It's 2025. Everyone should have a damn website, because at a point where platforms like YouTube or X, or they just decide that they don't like what you say, they don't like what you freaking say, then you can go to your freaking website. You can say, you know what? Bonk YouTube. Bonk all of them. I don't care. I don't need you to have a voice. I can go to my own freaking website and I can speak to you directly through my website. Look, I can tell you the ticker's Bitcoin breaking out of the matrix, going to the moon, and no one can tell me that I can't freaking do that. That's called decentralized autonomy in being able to share freedom of ideas. 100%. I want to put a damn crypto. I want to put a whole crypto section on my page. I 100% can. I want to show you the music that I created. It's right here. I want to build an entire separate page on my website that shows you that the ticker is indeed Bitcoin. Yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, I can do that too. Now, I wanted to show you guys this because I was up last night just coding and trying to test out building just these little fun, quick dashboards for, you can do this. Like, this is how you work for your bags. Like, if you have a coin that you like, why aren't you working hard for it to go up? Because you can't just expect just things to be handed to you. You have to work for your bags. So this is what the meme communities are all about. So the blue dash for hedgehog velocity, yellow rays of hope, red fiery spells, data pumps to 10 cents all-time high. Next is 22 cents. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like the chart that it gave me too. I have this nice little price chart. Degen dreams to gremlin glory. And then we have all of the bullish metrics for Bitcoin right here. All-time history, Vitalik Easter egg, Meta BTC velocity proven, 4 cents to 22 cents in 2024. Total supply, 1 quadrillion. That's not true. The supply is not that much. Sproto floor, 0.4 ETH, 0.49 ETH. I mean, yeah, we got all the metrics in here. Look, bullish news. Here's your alpha. BTC smashes 125K all-time high, up 100% year to date, eyeing 130K for the end of year on ETF inflows and Fed rate cuts. Ticker's Bitcoin. Meme merge when BTC moons. It's obvious play. Institutional tsunami. 62,000 BTC monthly demand. So that's 62,000 Bitcoin is being swallowed up by monthly demand. So Q4 to 200K possible. Trump's $2,000 tariff revenue check that could be coming this year would fuel more of speculation into some risk on assets. And people are just going to be gambling. Mostly they're going to try and pay debts, or probably going to literally just go and buy some groceries. But I wonder how much of that money is actually going to go into the markets. I would really love to see those figures. October rally is locked 6 to 8% to 131,000. October has really succeeded in providing us the gains that we were hoping for. Crypto market cap is still at our $4 trillion level. Bitcoin 4%. Wow, $101 million, super undervalued compared. Because look, this is why I point out too, also this crap that I see with Binance is that you got these projects that literally just hit the freaking market 8 days ago, and it's already at 164 million. That's a freaking scam, my friends. And if you don't realize that, you gotta really start to, like, I don't know, reorganize your brain or something, because look, this is crazy. What, like, come on, give me a freaking break with this crap. This is so crap. I don't like this. This is why I think it's a scam. And use the scam word very very lightly, I guess. No, but this is crap. This is stupid. How do you think this is actually real? It's not real. That's why market cap doesn't even really mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't at a point. Because look, this thing's at $95 million market cap, and look at all the stuff that we've explained over time about the ticker as just a representation of the meme community, the meme trenches, the thesis, the ethos. And it's at 95 million. Come on. This is why I believe in the ticker. This is why I believe in meme coins. This is why I believe in these types of projects, because I think this is just tricking people. It's just tricking people because it's not real. It's false. I think it's false. I think it's crap. I think BNB is the worst company, ethically run company in crypto. Even worse than Solana. I think Binance and Binance Smart Chain take the cake as the worst. So this is why I want to be down here. Let's go to the bookmarks, my friends. Gordon even thought the same thing. He's like, BNB memes are dead. He's like, I tried to warn you. Hope you listened. While they were busy getting farmed over there, I was in the Solana trenches buying the blood. And we were talking about that too, where we're like, guys, I would just hold off on the BNB stuff real quick, because we don't want to be exit liquidity. But we're also here for crypto for the long term. So you already need to be buying stuff that you're willing to hold for, at least a few years. Because if anything, the Bitcoin maxis have proven that patience is the key. Patience is the key. But all right, let's see if we got anything else. Let's go back on to this portion of the website. We were just having fun. And then we even built a pulse chain dashboard. It's not fully functional. It's almost there. We had some problems with the API keys. Like, we were trying to actually even have a wallet functionality where you could actually put in your portfolio, and a little widget will pop up on the down here, and then you can enter your address and see your pulse chain tokens. It's not working. I was testing it and it was really difficult to get it to work, but I got this far where I was able to get the network stats. I can get the network. Sometimes the network stats is a little is hard to load, but you can get the ecosystem overview. You can view it on CoinGecko. It'll quick link you to there. But what's really cool is it actually gives a cool list and a filtered list of the top Pulse Chain tokens right now by price and by market cap. And look, and when you click on the top tabs here, it actually filters it for you. So right now on the first page, we have Peacock, we have Zero Trust, we have Finger Monkey, Braya, Top Hat, Axel.win, Liquid Loans. We have GoPulse, Just a Pulse Guy, Vouch, things like that. You guys have probably seen some of this stuff or are familiar with some of these. Unisocks. Let's see. The only thing that it didn't do for some reason, it didn't actually put the Pulse Chain tokens in here. It didn't put the Pulse Chain tokens, the core tokens in here for some reason. It just like had all the other tokens. But do you guys ever mess around with this, or is it just me? Like I really like I really like doing this, is just trying to like try and see if I can actually make something functional and fun. You can change the colors too. Look, you can go dark mode. You click neon. I liked the neon one. The light doesn't work because of my text, so the light version doesn't work, but if you go dark or neon. And another really cool thing is you can export all of these coins right here, all of this info into a document. So you can actually click that, it exports it as a document. Real quick, I'll do it. And okay, yeah, so let's see. Pull that up and hold on just a second. Oh, okay, I have to pull it up on here. But yeah, it's actually really cool. It exports it all into a CSV file, so you can open it up in Excel or like Google Docs or something like that, and then you can basically make your own spreadsheet of these coins. It's really, really cool. So it actually has more functionality. I mean, geez, this has more functionality than most stuff I've seen in freaking crypto nowadays. So, but this is what I'm talking about. If you just keep doing this and keep like interacting with ecosystems like this and just building stuff and having it on your own website. And look, I mean, if you go to this website, I have my music, I have all this stuff that I'm making, I have my NFT project that isn't even lit. Like this thing is still, look at this. I mean, I got so much stuff on here, and it's so cool that I'm able to do this and host this without like having to ask permission to do so. You know, I really like that. I mean, we don't realize like how much cool stuff we have access to right now. Like no time in history that we've ever been able to just like do something like this. Literally code your own damn website and do all this stuff, where at years ago, you'd have to pay developers, pay a coder, have someone who went to school like to freaking code for years and be an expert coder and have to work with bugs. And now you literally just prompt a language model and it shoots out a code for you. And it's pretty freaking fascinating. But anyway, guys, Pulse Chain Stats is a website that was just promoted by Richard Hart. That is cool. So if you're into Pulse Chain, you can put your portfolio in here. You can see all the Pulse ecosystem stats and tokens and things like that. You can see the core coins performance. And yeah, so, and why is this important? Learning about crypto and DeFi, because surveillance money is real, and it's basically taking shape in the UK, in Europe, with the digital ID and the CBDCs that they're trying to roll out, so then they can basically completely starve you out if they don't like what you say. So we will never have that happen in America, because at the moment that they tried to push this on us, we will revolt and we will literally not use it, because that's not what we're about. So, yeah, so we have the yesterday, a big announcement. Trump says Hamas and Israel agreed to the first phase of a peace deal. So that's going to really get the markets like gearing up for Q1 for 2026. I think everything is being set up for a home run of 2026 for us to really see some mega moves. We are going to be massively rich in 2026. But this is some crazy stuff. We found this out. You guys remember the fires? Florida man charged in deadly Palisades fire. This person was actually his GPS coordinates and where his phone was, like where he was, and everything was all linked to exactly where the fire started. So they tracked this guy down. And I mean, yeah, so he was responsible for like a few people dying and just massive fires. It was just not good. So man, it's just, oof. But yeah, crazy. It just shows like you can't, like they will always find you. So you might as well just do good by God and not try and do anything sneaky or shady, because it usually catches up with you. The spirit sees all. So. All right, so Bitcoin boom. It's imminent. Institutional and derivatives data hint at hidden bullish momentum. I don't think it's really hidden. I think it's pretty obvious that we have bullish momentum coming into the market. We have Fed officials saw another 2 interest rate cuts by the end of 2025. It's all correlating with the CME watch here. We have a meeting at the end of the month, right before Halloween, that we're going to get interest rate cuts. I mean, if anything, we could have trades leading up to, in the market leading up to the 29th of a cut. So it's interesting, because the markets also would love to bring it down to get better lower entries to then front run this trade. And then also we have cuts that are expected to happen in December as well. So there's just going to be a lot of volatility. So it's going to be tricky to see if we get a push to 150 really fast before even the end of November. It's possible that we get a push to 150 before the end of November, and then December is going to be just this wild card month. And why I say it's going to be a wild card month, because look, Decembers are wild. Look, Decembers are wild cards. We really only have data from 15, 16, and 17 of showing us green months, and then all the other months are pretty much primarily red besides 2020. And so I think that we're going to see some really interesting volatility going into like the rest of October, November, and December. And it's going to be where there's going to be a lot of people that if we end up going to 150 or between 150 and 200K by the end of the year, that is where people are going to be calling, that's the top. 2026 is going to be the bear market. And then we'll go into 2027 as the recovery. I mean, we know that in 2021, we had a double top. People got faked out and thought that all-time high was it. We went down 30, 40, I think, percent, pushed up again to break another all-time high. Then we went into a bear market. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. It really is. It's going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in today. So sorry about the camera not working. It's kind of lame. I know you guys would be able to probably pay attention a little bit more if you actually saw my face, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you on the next live stream. Peace out.